Hey, this is the thekcentralshow, and I am your host, Central Booking.
Yo, what up, y'all? I'm K Cram. What's good with y'all people? How y'all doing out there, man? What's up, Central, man? What's poppin'? What you been up to, man?
Nothing much, just enjoying my new year, after the holidays and all of that kind of thing.
Ain't nobody heard from us for a while, man, so, we gotta get the people what they want, man. We back.
Oh, yes.
We back, everybody. It's a topic, man, that I really wanted to kind of hit on a little bit about the situation in Ohio.
Oh, yeah.
About, it was ranked, number 10 as far as the worst states for African American people. Am I right, man?
Yes. Yes.
Number 10 is worst state, one of the worst states for African American people.
Yes.
Why is this, Central Booking, man? What's going on up in the O,
man? It's just the fact.
You was born and raised in the O, right?
No, I was not.
You was there for a long time?
I was there for a long time, but I was not born and raised there.
No, man, you only claim your state, man. Stop it.
Hey, now, from what I've heard and what I've read on it, there are a whole bunch of factors, median income, incarceration rates. It's also been ranked number 6 as one of the worst places to raise your kids. You know what I'm saying? If you're African American. They also say that Cleveland is one of the top 10 cities in America that is segregated. You know what I'm saying? As far as race.
Wow.
So,
I believe that too. I believe that about Cleveland. That's definitely true. I can see that. But then when they said years ago Columbus was one of the best family towns, do you agree with that?
I never agreed with it.
Why?
I just thought that because a lot of people in Ohio watched TV, ergo BET.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think they had their highest ratings in Ohio, so they looked at it as, you know what I'm saying, it's one of the best places for black people. And I never ever agreed with that.
Now your experiences being in Ohio, man, why you hating on Ohio players, man? But you ain't playing? That's what it was. You went up there playing, man. Why you hating, man?
Hey, man, I'm not hating. I'm just looking at the facts. The facts are that, when it comes to jobs, it's like they try to funnel you in to what they want you in. There are so many stipulations for you to try to get that job, background checks. They want to know if you got a high school diploma, you know what I'm saying, drug testing, and a whole bunch of other things, personality tests.
And
things of that sort that are stopping African Americans from getting jobs. They try to make sure we get the lowest of the minimum wage jobs there are out there to have. And that is part of the problem that is going on in Ohio, as well as other states. The number 1 state for this is Wisconsin.
Wisconsin?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a lot of prisons in Wisconsin, man.
Yeah.
Wisconsin is
and they have the highest incarceration rate per 100,000 people, 4,269 people per 100,000.
Plus, I know about the black male unemployment rate in Wisconsin is stupid high.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's over 17%.
Wow, really?
Yes.
Now, I think being in the state of Ohio, I think another problem is the reason why a lot of black people are poor, individuality.
Yeah.
We always talked about that. This need to want to be some kind of individual.
Yeah,
This need to
want to be unique. You know what I'm saying? You think that's the only way. I think for a lot, and I'm not going to say just for Ohio, but I think for a lot of the places that we live, we are so separated now. I want to be this unique individual when actually it takes a whole bunch of individuals behind you to get you somewhere. And I don't think we really believe in that the way we might have used to.
Yeah, I think since we bought into the individuality, I was thinking about something, Central. You got to look at something, man. If you got, now they said the median household for black people is how much in the state of Ohio?
In the state of Ohio, I believe it was $26,000
for a black family.
$39
for a black family.
For a black family.
So that's basically 2 people on average making $8 an hour.
Yeah.
Together.
Yeah.
To make that $26,000.
Yep.
That ain't nothing.
No.
For a family?
No, that's not even the national average. That's under the national average.
And they said how
The
much
national average is $33,000
for a family?
for a family, a black family.
Whoa! So, wow, that's crazy. So in the white average is what 44,000,
42,000.
42,000.
Yeah.
That's a big
Yeah,
gap.
it's a big gap and a horrible gap
So
for
now,
us as black people.
what do you think the people need to do? What do you think the solution is?
The solution is we need to unify. We need to be together more than we really think. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to think of it like this. Like it's like saying my kid is grown, he's ready to go to college and get a degree or what have you. And
Right.
it's like, well, okay, son or daughter, don't go out of school. Don't go to another state and go to school.
Okay.
Stay right here
Right.
and go to school and work. You know what I'm saying? And stay here at home so that you can help home. You know what I'm saying? You got mom here, you got dad here, you know what I'm saying? And if we are low income workers, this helps us.
So we can all put our money together.
Right. You know what I'm
So
saying?
if you got maybe 5 people making, or 4 people, well, we say 5 making $8 an hour, what would that be yearly? Do you know?
You'd say
That would be about
$8 an
40.
hour.
That would be about $40,000
Yeah.
a year, right?
Probably a little more than that.
With 4 people making
With
minimum
4
wage.
people making minimum wage, I would say about $40,000 to $45,000.
So I mean, if you had
know.
10 people, 4 people making $10 an hour, you basically balling.
Yes.
With a rent,
Oh,
let's say
boy.
on
Yeah.
the average of probably $500 and something dollars a month, you're balling in
Yeah.
the state, right?
Oh yeah.
Because you know the rent in Columbus, the rent in
Yeah,
Ohio
rent
is
in
very
Ohio
cheap.
is very cheap.
Very
Yes.
cheap, yeah,
Yes,
so-
it is. So just imagine, even if y'all had the highest of rent,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Let's say for the 5 of y'all, the highest rent y'all were paying was $700 a month.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Between 5 people, you
Yeah,
know what I'm
you're
saying?
not-
That's about
you're paying
$125.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Between the five of y'all, plus utilities.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, you balling.
Yes.
I think the problem with the poverty rate is too much individuality.
Yes.
Is
It
what I
really
say.
is.
You know, we don't have enough sense to take that little small income and put it together. We can't. We don't have enough sense to get along with each other. We don't have enough sense to work with each other.
Yeah.
We always, it seems like every time you try to get us together, it's always some shit.
Yeah. There's always one Judas, like they say.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You get a group of people together, there's one Judas who wants to throw a wrench in the system and not make it work. But when it comes to black folks, we're all Judases. We all don't want to make it work. There's like maybe 1 or 2 people in the group who actually want to make it work. While the other 3 or 4, the other 3 people are like, well, forget you. I'm not going to do it that way. I want to do this or I want to do that.
And then they run off and
then they run off and get into trouble, or they lose the job, or you know what I'm saying, or now they have nowhere to live, and they want to come running back to the 2 people who decided, well, we're going to work together and do this right. Now you're coming back to those 2 people like, can I get some help? And if they told you no, they wouldn't be wrong for it.
Right.
You understand? But you would look at it as they're being wrong to me on what?
Well, like I said, we've experienced that on a personal level.
Yes, we have.
And for what I've seen, nothing good has came out of it. You know, I've seen people try to go off and be individuals, get car notes, just get a whole lot of stress.
Yeah.
When if they would have sat back and just worked as a team and cooperated, they wouldn't be in the situation they is. I've personally seen this. So
yeah.
I mean, man, if you're not making $50,000 a year, in my opinion, that individuality stuff, man, ain't gonna work for you.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? And if you are making $50,000 a year,
I would still say, even if you were making that, if you let's say one person in that group of 5 was making $50,000 and everybody else was making minimum wage.
Right.
That's still a better place to be with your people than to not. Why? Because you get to pack away most of that money. Now I can think about finding something for all of us. You know what I'm
business.
saying? Right, a business of some kind that will help us all. Or maybe there's one person in that group, maybe it's only 4 of y'all really doing everything. And one person is a teenager, per se, without a job. You know what I'm saying? Well, if that person with 50,000 decides I can open a small business, you know what I'm saying, of some kind, you're going to be the first person that works for me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That way I'm keeping that money within
The group.
the group.
And the group can all stack together. And then you can move together.
Yeah.
I think that's the poverty problem in Ohio, really.
Yeah. I think that's the poverty problem all over the place.
country, yeah.
Yeah. We
What
have
else?
to start looking at it as we need each other.
And we need each other for just not only that, we need to watch out for each other. We need to protect each other.
Yes.
We need to be able to watch each other's back.
Yes.
I mean, you're definitely better with a group that supports each other than trying to go out here and be an individual.
Yeah.
You know, as you see people out here that do the individual thing, man, like I said, it's nothing but bills.
Yeah.
That's all you're taking on is bills.
It's bills. And then you got to think about this too. Now let's talk about that guy who made the $50,000 and let's say he ran on by himself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Now what's the first thing he going to do?
Get that
I
car.
get a brand new car.
In the
You know what I'm
house.
saying? Right. Both 2 big bills you don't need.
And your money gone.
Right. Now all of a sudden, now you're struggling.
Yeah.
That $50,000 doesn't mean anything now.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But when you were with those 4 other people,
Life was way easier.
easier.
And a whole lot less stress.
Yep.
Yeah, I get it, and I think that's, like I said, once again I said that's the problem with poverty in Ohio, man. Is that too many people just want to do their own thing, man, and don't have the money and the resources or the intelligence or the vision
Right.
to do their own thing.
That's
man.
it.
So sometimes you need to sit with people, and it's just like lifting the weight, man. You know, the weight is a whole lot lighter when it's more than one person.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I can throw 300 pounds on the bar and lift it.
Yeah.
But if I have 4 people, man, that 300 pounds is super light.
Yeah.
It's almost like the 300 pounds ain't even there.
Right.
If I have 4 people
Right.
together to help me lift that weight.
Right.
And I think the basic concept is we don't get it. The Africans get it. They come over here to get it.
Oh yeah.
The Arabs, they come over here and get it.
The Mexicans, they get it. Everybody gets it but us. But then we want to sit back and complain how we're not getting it. You understand? And why is it always these people getting it? You understand? When the real thing, when there is nobody to blame, there is no one to blame now. We're our own worst enemy. You know, when it comes to this, instead of us just saying, let us get together, let us do this together, and at the least, if we just live together,
Right.
you know what I'm saying, and push into that one little notion right there. You know, if we just all live together, you have your individuality still.
Yeah.
Because why? I can save my little bit of money. I'm not putting so much money into my household because we're all putting money into the household. So that means there's more money for me to figure out what it is I might want to do.
Now you
know?
in my opinion mastered this concept. Now, because I remember when you had the crib, the house.
Yeah.
And how big was that house, Central?
Which one?
The Wilsons.
Wilson was a nice big house, 3 bedrooms, attic in the basement.
And it was how many adults in that house?
It was
like really like a 5-bedroom, really, with the attic in the basement.
With the attic in the basement, yeah. There's about 3 adults. 3 or 4 adults.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? One of those adults wasn't working.
Okay.
But everybody else.
So it was 3 adults with incomes coming in.
Coming in.
Then you had children at the time that you were taking care of, right?
Yes, I did.
And you had a support system with your baby mamas, right?
Yeah.
Now, from what I saw in your situation, and I saw it, you were kind of chilling.
Yes, I was.
You know, I
Nice.
didn't see you hurting for nothing.
No.
You know, you was always calling me back then to get a ride to the store. And, you know, you would break me off when you go get whatever you got.
Yeah.
How did you manage to make that system work?
You know, to me in
And
a
how
way,
did you manage to keep those people together? Because you're dealing with a whole lot of different personalities.
Now I have to commend my dad on that. You know, my dad was one of those people, you know, even though he had adopted a whole bunch of kids, you know, and kept us together and made us he always made us work together in one way or another, whether it was cleaning the house, whether we were outside
or
playing around.
jumping somebody in the street.
Right. Even that.
See, that's
You
messed up.
understand what I'm saying? Even that.
You know,
But
you know how many gang of brothers, man, I had to avoid coming home from school, man? That's
Hey, all I had to do was go get my brothers, and they're like, hey, it's like 10 or 20 of y'all. I'm not messing with that.
Nobody.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not messing with that. But but also on top of that too, it was the fact, when we went out in the street, at least take one or two of your brothers with you. You're not going to be out in the street alone.
Strength in numbers.
That's it. You know what I'm saying? And off of that, also his one mantra to us was, "I'ma survive." You know what I'm saying?
Right.
With or without y'all, I'ma survive. And and as a kid, it was like, well, dang, how do I survive? You know what I'm saying? And when I did get on my own and things got rough, it was like you have to make certain relationships central
with people.
Yeah.
And build these relationships instead of being a loner in the corner.
Right.
And learn how to work with other people.
Right.
Which really helped you out in a lot of situations.
Yes,
because
it
you
did.
learned how to maneuver and work with a lot of people.
Yeah.
I think that's a big problem we have.
Yes.
That's one big problem that I think we haven't mastered. That's really, we need to learn how to come up with a system and a way to work with each other.
Yes.
We have to.
You have to build relationships, even if it's just with your family.
But in anything you do in life, in a corporation, you build relationships.
Yes.
It takes people to build that corporation.
Yeah.
Any business you go into, you're gonna need help.
Yes.
It's just not all about me.
Right.
Where did this me thing came from?
Look at television, buddy.
Oh.
Look at television. Look at movies.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Look at commercials even. You know what I'm saying? In one way or another, they're telling it can only be you. You know what I'm saying? You can do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They're never going to tell you, well, we don't know that 50 people was behind that and made that commercial.
Right.
We don't know 100 people made that movie. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? We don't know that 1,000 people doing this television show that comes on weekly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All we're seeing is the one individual.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Who's telling you it? I did it alone. You know what I'm saying? And no, you didn't.
That's not reality.
No.
That's not reality. You know?
But we bought so much into that. You know what I'm saying? Into that fact that we have separated from our families. We run away from them,
Right.
thinking there's something we can do on our
and there's
own.
something better out there.
Right.
You always think the grass is
end up crashing and burning.
Yes.
No, very few.
Can
Very
really
few.
be
Yeah.
an individual.
Right.
Very few.
Very few.
And that's people who's willing to put the grind to the pavement.
Right.
7
And still
days
they had
a week.
they had to ask other people for help.
Yeah.
They
yeah.
still had to talk to other people. They still had to find out information. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? They just couldn't. I just figured all this out on my own, and it happened. You know what I'm saying? I still had to go to other people to get that information. I still had to talk to them. I still had to go to somebody if I had to get a loan.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Something happened.
Well, it's like straight out of Compton, man.
Yeah.
You know, Dr. Dre, I mean, he's balling out of control now, but you see how many people he had to go to to get to where he's at?
Yeah.
I mean, Master P.
Right.
You know, he had to go to people,
Yeah.
pay out to get the information, the knowledge to learn what deals and what deals not.
Right.
You know, you had to get artists.
Mhm.
I mean, you had to get producers.
Yeah.
You know, listen, I'm gonna tell y'all people out there, if you think being an individual, I mean, is the best way to go for most of y'all, it's not. I've seen a lot of y'all. I get on Facebook. I mean, I ain't trying to diss nobody, man, but I mean, as you hear some of my music in the background, you know,
Yeah.
it's one of my little hobbies, you hear me?
Yeah.
But I know a cat that's been producing for a long time. I got him producing, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I know
I
what
see
you're talking
this
about.
dude on Facebook, man. You know, and I just laugh. You hear me? Because
Yeah.
I'm like, you ran off. You know, when you was with the crew with us,
Right.
you acted like you hated me for whatever reason. Like I said,
Right.
I still ain't figured that one out.
Right.
Because all I did was help the brother.
Yeah.
You know, I gave this brother dirt cheap rent. He barely even paid rent.
Right.
This dude would go 3 months at a time without no rent.
Right.
I would come to the brother, and I'm not throwing nobody under the bus, and ask him every now and then. He'd rather go spend his money with some chicks.
Right.
So now he goes and get this chick, and I ain't gonna say her name.
Right.
And nothing comes out of this.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
When he could have took all that money he was making, invested in himself and the people around him, or at least help.
Yeah.
And no telling where he could be with his life right now.
No telling.
And no telling what kind of quality of woman he would have.
Right.
And I'm not trying to dog anybody. I just feel like, honestly, he could have did a lot better than what he did.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, I'm sorry. I'm not gonna take on an obese woman
Right.
with a bunch of kids.
Right.
I'm not going to do it.
I wouldn't do it.
You understand? I don't care what situation I am.
I wouldn't do it.
I would go to a homeless shelter,
Right.
thug it out in that homeless shelter, and figure it out.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Before I settle for that. And help her pay her bills so she can live a comfortable life.
Right.
And she's been ran all through before you got here.
Right.
And you don't have a child. I mean, dude, it's the craziest thing I ever seen. But that's the thinking we have. It's ass backwards thinking. It's economic ignorance. You understand what I'm saying? Now you see this brother that could have really had it all.
Yeah.
He really could have.
Yeah.
I mean, if he would have sat there and invested in himself.
Right.
Because he had a good situation, no kids, where he could be an individual.
Yep. That's just like we was just saying a little earlier. You had the perfect situation and decided to give that up for what?
For what? Because like I said, I don't see anything successful out of it.
Right.
And I'm not knocking nobody. You know, I'm not saying, hey, I'm a multi-millionaire or anything.
Right.
But I know there's things I'm not gonna do.
Yeah.
You know, if I crash and burn, it's on my own.
Right.
I crash that shit.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And I'm very good at working with other people. You know, most people who know me know I'm very good at working
Same
with
here.
system, so.
Same here. But you gotta build those relationships, and you have to be not only the fact that we're all together. You know what I'm saying? Yes, if we're together and we're at least working on one goal, which would be taking care of the place that we stay.
Yeah.
Even if it's just that one thing. You know how many beautiful things could come out of that?
A lot. I mean, think about it like this. With the system we had also, me and you.
Yeah.
And I remember when you were younger then, and then you fell out because we was always cool.
Yeah.
And then you left that system.
Yeah.
You know, but if you look at the income we had in that house.
Oh man.
We had a very nice income.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
We didn't really know what to do with it.
Nah, we didn't.
We didn't understand at the time that was our best time to do whatever we was gonna do in life. If it was to save for that business, that was that best time.
But we were too busy. I think we were just like what we're talking about. Trying to be individuals
women
too.
Women, see, I think what it is women come in, right?
Yeah.
And a man feels like he needs to leave his situation. Some guys, now I never personally really felt like I had to do all that.
Yeah.
I never really had to do all that. But some guys feel like, man, they got to give up everything to give it all to her.
Yeah.
My thing is this, and no diss to women, females out there. You know, we know some of y'all is independent. Yeah. We know some of y'all doing y'all thing. That's not the majority of y'all. Right. I don't care how y'all speak. That's not the majority of y'all.
That's sure right.
So they kind of like the exceptions.
Yes, they are too.
Brothers, when you run off with these ladies and get into their bills and everything, you're not being an individual. You just traded one
less bills for more bills.
Less bills for more bills. So you,
because that woman's gonna make sure you got more bills.
Right, and now you're in her control.
Yep.
Now, I mean, and I just don't.
Not only is it electric and gas
it's
and
the
utilities.
Kids. If you got kids.
It's kids. It's me. You know what I'm saying? Because I want my hair and nails done and you gonna do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If I don't have a job, you gonna take care of me.
You're gonna take care of me, yes.
You know what I'm saying? So you just went from a few bills to more bills than you ever even needed to have.
And if you would take that money and save it and invest in yourself when you're in a good situation, you can have all the females.
Yeah.
I mean, man, if you roll up in a big fancy car, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't get it. I think it's retarded. You know, I had a cousin that did that. You know, he ran from a good situation once again that I set up.
Yes.
You know, ran to Atlanta, Georgia to be with this, I don't even know, a space alien. I'm gonna call her a space alien. He ran to Atlanta, Georgia to be with this space alien. And man, the minute he went broke, she ended up just dogging him out, man.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, you was in a great situation. You had a good paying job. You didn't have hardly no bills. You had money. Why did you leave that great situation to end up homeless in Atlanta, Georgia?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
All because some female told you she liked you.
Right.
Who does that? Now, these are grown men.
Right.
Do you think there's a certain amount of mental illness going on?
I think it is. I believe yes. You know what I'm saying? Because it's almost like a lot of us black men, and I'm gonna say that, is that we still live childlike lives. We still want to be children instead of being men. You know what I'm saying?
Being a man ain't easy.
It isn't.
Being a man, sometimes you gotta walk alone. Being a man, sometimes you gotta do without. Being a man, sometimes you ain't gonna have that weekend off.
Right.
Being a man, sometimes you gotta work 7 days a week, tooth and nail.
Yeah.
And invest in yourself.
Yeah.
And that's part of the poverty problem, y'all. I'm just gonna be honest with you.
Yeah.
That's part of the poverty problem. There's no communication. There's no plan. Right. For example, if fellas, you young guys that are in this situation with a female, get some birth control. If she's not pregnant yet, get some birth control. Tell her, look, babe, we need to put our money together, save such and such amount a year, and try to come up with a goal. If she's not supportive for that goal,
that's not the one for you.
That's not the one for you. You might need to step out of that situation.
Yeah.
And I think we had just accepted poverty. We accepted it. We bought into it. We all good with it, man.
Yeah.
You know, and us now looking back, I made a lot of mistakes. What about you, Sam?
Oh yeah. I sure have. And I'm gonna say, not just because of the system I had, but the fact that and still in some ways I wanted to be an individual. You know what I'm saying? Instead of getting that help from outside. You know, because there were times with that situation we talked about earlier where I was on Wilson. You know what I'm saying? Where I wanted a business. I wanted something, but I needed more. I needed more brain power than my own.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying to you? And I couldn't use the people around me because they didn't want any of that.
They didn't want that.
They just were comfortable enough that I have what we have right here.
We have this little bit and I'm cool.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I wanted more, but I needed more brain power to help me to think of, okay, where can I take this if I do this?
Right.
What can I do with this if I do this?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it was a lot of money wasted and a lot of time wasted because I didn't have other people, I didn't have good people around me in order to take that next step and go to that next level. You know what I'm saying? So it soured me a little bit.
Right.
It made me fall back to a point that I almost lost more than everything. You know what I'm saying?
Your health.
Yeah.
Hey man, I'm gonna say this. If you see a lot of, you see a lot of these vicious robberies going on for this little bit of money.
Yeah.
You know, you hear about guys who are viciously killing each other for really a little bit of nothing, man.
Yeah.
You know, and fellas, if you get in the system, man, and use some sense, you wouldn't have to do all that, man.
Right.
You know? And that's all we're saying, man. That's all. That's the more of the story. I think the poverty is lack of working together, mental illness.
Yes.
I think there's some mental illnesses going on.
I do too.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of mental illness going on. Economic and political ignorance.
Yeah.
Where do you see us in 10 years? I mean, where do you see us in 10 years?
I keep telling you this, man. You know where I see us, yo. You know where I see us. They gonna put us in a corner somewhere, bro. Like, we don't need y'all no more.
I'm gonna say
You know
this.
what I'm
I
saying?
think it's gonna
You're going to
be
be
everybody.
obsolete.
Everybody. We are. It's already. It's gonna be everybody against us.
Yeah.
And we're gonna be overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And we're not gonna be able to do anything about it. We're gonna be like sitting ducks, defenseless,
Yeah.
when it goes down.
Yeah.
It's gonna
and
be
they ain't gonna have anything to do but accept it.
And it's gonna be an economic thing.
Yeah.
It's gonna be an economic thing that's gonna phase us out.
Yeah.
Almost render us. It's just crazy, man. We don't get it. It's just crazy that we don't get it. It's like I was talking to this little 20-year-old cat, man. He was talking about, man, when he graduated school, he was gonna be making $30,000 a year.
Right.
Now I'm like, well, $30,000 ain't a lot of money.
It sure isn't.
It really ain't no damn
it's
money.
not.
Now he was sitting up talking about getting married. This is off $30,000 a year salary.
What is she making?
Listen, he ain't even got the girlfriend yet. But this is all in his head. You hear me?
Okay, yeah.
He met this girl, this fantasy girl he got in his head.
Right.
He's gonna get this $30,000 a year job.
Right.
I swear he told me this. He gonna get married. He gonna get a house.
Right.
And he gonna have a family.
Right.
Off $30,000 a year. My man, you setting yourself up
for poverty.
Poverty, basically.
That's exactly what we were just saying.
Yeah.
If the median income in Ohio is $26,000 and the national average is $33,000, what does that? You right up in the middle of that, bruh.
And man, if you have about 3-4 kids, $30,000 a year.
Now you're in debt.
Yeah,
now,
you're in debt. Yeah.
Right
So,
now you're in debt. You get 3 or 4 kids, and just say the girl don't like you, and she decide to leave you.
You hit. And they don't. And these young brothers don't think of that. Build yourself first. Build your legacy first.
Yeah.
Then you go make a family. If that's what you're gonna do, I'm not knocking you for doing it. But make sure you build you first, or go to the military if you're that lazy.
Right.
Something.
Right.
You hear me?
Right.
You gotta figure something out, man. You just can't get out here and make all these bills and put yourself in debt.
Or find a team. You know what
And
I'm
work
saying?
together
And
and
y'all
push
work
something.
together and build something.
Then have
Build
your
something
family.
good, right?
Yeah.
Then go out there and find the woman of your dreams or the woman of your fantasies or whatever.
Your fantasy girl.
Yeah.
Because if your money right, she coming.
Right.
You ain't even got it. You ain't
You ain't
even
even gotta look for it. She'll be looking for you.
Instead of having to marry some fat chick and
Right. With attitudes.
Yeah.
4 kids.
It's just crazy, man. And everybody gonna get mad and offended. But this is
Hey baby, lose some weight. Then maybe you wouldn't have to have that attitude.
but this is a problem. Yeah, this is definitely a problem, man. So Central Booking. I guess nobody's gonna listen. They don't ever listen.
Nah.
People gotta just go to the storm to believe it. You know how I go.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say this, man. I hope 2016 is good for a lot of you people. I hope a lot of people have a good year. I'm definitely gonna have a good year.
I know that's what we're definitely both focusing on, yo. So hey, keep listening, man. Cause this is part of the dream right here.
Let me hold a couple $100, man.
Oh, go ahead. I
You out
got
here
you,
getting
bro.
all this money, man. You know what I'm
I got you, bro.
saying? Yeah.
I got you.
You know you got that old woman downstairs checking you out, bro. Lady at the front desk, man. Central gonna do it, man.
Yo. I'm up here getting this money, yo.
Yeah.
I'm grinding for a better tomorrow.
But let me ask you a question, man, real quick. With you grinding, with you working a lot of hours, with you sacrificing a lot of your free time, as versus you probably wouldn't have done this at one time.
Right.
But now that you're actually doing something for yourself, do you have a better appreciation for what you accomplished?
Yes, I do.
Because
I
you
really
work
do.
for it.
Because I'm working for it. But not only that, but now I actually have a goal to look forward to.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? That I'm putting in work, even though it's more your plan than mine. You understand? I feel better for it. Do you understand what I'm saying? I feel like I'm contributing finally. You know what I'm saying? Into something that's going to work. You know what I'm saying?
But you're working towards something.
Right.
So do you think the problem, especially with the younger men,
Yeah.
is that they don't have a goal? They haven't.
I think it's the fact that a lot of us don't have goals and we don't have plans. And then on top of that, we don't unify. You understand what I'm saying to you? We don't unify. Everybody need help from somewhere.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And if you got friends, you know what I'm saying? Even, talking about your friends in high school and stuff like that, y'all need to be making plans then.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And working together. You understand? So that y'all can all have a better tomorrow.
Better tomorrow, right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because the more we work together, the stronger we become.
And man, I get on Facebook and I look at some of that drama up in Ohio, especially that Ohio group.
Yeah.
And all the bitches hating on me and you ain't shit and all this. And I'm like, yo, that's the problem. We fighting over nothing.
Yeah.
We're fighting over nothing.
Yeah.
We're sitting up there arguing with each other, dissing each other over nothing. We're all in the same boat.
Yes.
All in the same boat, man. And we're just sitting here beefing. Over nothing.
Yeah.
It's all over nothing, man.
Mm-hmm.
People getting, you hear about people getting Twitter beefs. Come on, man.
Right.
What's next? My God, Twitter beef?
Right.
Damn. Shit.
So it's gonna be Snapchat beef, Instagram beef.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? Which we already really got. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is, take that petty shit and throw it out the window.
Yo, y'all, these forums is really supposed to be. You're supposed to be using these forums
in order to build something better
for yourself, y'all. And this is the K Central. Did I say the K Central show? Yeah, I did say it, man. Well, shit, we gotta delete that. But we out, y'all.
Yes.
Central Booking, any closing words?
Hey, just build, y'all. That's the one thing.
And I messed up, y'all, but we still gonna
Build.
upload it.
Build.
I messed up, we still gonna upload it. K Central Show, I'm out. Peace.
One.